Speaking of things that make no sense, actors reunite for a special celebration celebrating the 30th anniversary of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers franchise, including David Yost, Walter E. Jones, Barbara Gudson, and others. That was what the synopsis of what Google said about Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Once and Always that came out just over the last weekend or so. If you don't know, now you know. For everything we do a one-sentence review. Lisa, go ahead and give us your one-sentence review for Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Once and Always.
Go Power Rangers. Okay, my one-sentence review is, whatever you do, don't listen to Jason. This is amazing.
Damn. I don't know, it can be personal. Whatever you do, Lisa's opinion sucks.
It's amazing. Give it a chance.
Give us your one-sentence review on Once and Always Power Rangers Mighty Morphin. Those words are supposed to be in order.
My one-sentence review for Power Rangers Forever and Ever. The best weight loss drug is it's morphing time. Plus, Zach is black and doesn't crack.
My one-sentence review for this movie is Go Power Rangers. Back to 1993 where this shit belongs.
Man, you got a cold heart, Mr. Grinch.
I'm sorry. Let's do it like we do it. Our pros and cons. I'll go last on this one because apparently I'm just wrong.
Who do you want to go first then?
Jason, go first with your pros, sir.
Okay, yes. So my pros for this one is, once I mentioned before, Black Don't Crack. Shout out to my man Zach. This went like straight hardcore 90s Power Rangers, and I loved every moment of it. I do feel like a pro is the creative way they worked around one character's real life death and the other one's not needing to be there, and one of them being caught up on fraud charges was immaculate for this show. And I was like, that's awesome, because if you don't know, you would not know. But they did a great job of that one. Kat and Tommy have a kid together named JJ. Future generations, baby. I'm ready. I'm here for it. And like all things Super Sentai, I mean, the Power Rangers fight scenes are just so invigorating and fun for me. I just enjoy the goofy way they fight. It's so great for me. And watching it with my kids made me realize that, yes, it completely, like, it fills your soul with just goodness. Getting hit and sparks flying. It's just amazing.
Lisa.
No. Oh, I was waiting for rebuttals. No rebuttals.
I'm not gonna reboot anything. He just has
his whole thing's gonna be a rebuttal.
I'm not gonna rebut. There's no reboots. Unless you say something really, really egregious, then I might.
Okay, so pros. I love seeing all the Zords. I love the nods at the Rangers who weren't able to be there, and they just they made it believable within the story. I loved all the Rangers that were there because yay for reunions. I fucking love the fight scenes. Love. And I love how it is so obvious that when they morph, it is not them in those suits.
Yes.
It is just like watching the show as a kid.
Different motherfucker.
Oh, love it. I love it. I love that it didn't take itself too seriously. So it was just the Power Rangers. The dialogue, the cheesy dialogue was just, and the ending with a tribute to the fallen Rangers, to Tommy and Trini, and I cry a lot. So I was just like, by Tommy and Trini. So
I have one rebuttal.
Yeah.
One rebuttal. Only time I thought it did take itself serious is when they did the dumbest thing in a movie. They're like, we gotta tell her. She gotta know that her mother died by, and blah blah blah. Like the chick is standing.
Yeah.
Right. I was
we didn't know that she walked in here. Oh God! You should not have this very public conversation publicly. Okay, so.
Yeah.
Could have had this on a ride over. But anyway, yes.
Yeah. They could have just texted her on the way. Yo, your mom said we'll talk about it when I get to the house.
She was a Power Ranger, by the way.
So many different.
We'll talk about you when you get home. Now you're getting raised by a black dude. Sorry.
Facts. One time the black man stepped up to be a father. Commendable, Zach.
Like, nah,
commendable.
I'm out. This ain't my kid. Why are we here? Where's her dad at? Never mind. too many questions. I'm asking way too many questions.
Yeah.
Sorry, Lisa. Do you have any more? Sorry.
Nope. That. I mean, I could just keep going, but it's fine. I stopped at 5 because I was like, that's enough.
That's
All right, guys. Let's get ready for this.
I got
All
pros.
right,
I got pros.
All right, go get
Obviously, it's the pros section of the pros and cons. I got pros.
Okay.
Come on,
Okay.
guys.
You got pros.
In
different area codes.
I was about to say it. You beat me to it.
Got pros.
Different area codes.
This first pro in this area code, this is only an hour long. That's a pro. My second pro is this feels like an extra long episode of the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. And I'm done.
That was like literally the same thing. It's fine. Rebuttal, that was the same thing.
No, that's not the same thing. That's different. It's only an hour long, but that's two different things.
Okay.
I feel like at this point, Jason, you should just go with your cons now, so we can get this out of the way.
All right. I was trying not to rebut anything because this is going to be in my cons. But my first con is this feels like an extra long episode of the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
And what's wrong with that? Rebuttal.
Yeah.
What the hell is wrong with an extra long episode of Power Rangers?
You know what Lisa always says? It's just not for me. I've outgrown this series. This is just, I don't know. One of my cons is I don't know who this is for. It hasn't evolved enough to be, for adults, but no kid cares about those Power Rangers, right? Because, they have other Power Rangers. Anyway, I'll go to my cons. The acting and dialogue in this is unbearable. Particularly David Yost, who plays Billy. When he is in his suit, his line reading is just like, hey guys, oh no, it's Rita. Oh God, oh, you got hurt. No, Trina. It is just absolutely like they took his first take and they're like, here you go. This is it. I haven't acted in 40 years, so this is what you're getting. So you guys are like, oh, this is great that the other guys weren't in this, but they made it tasteful. No, it's like it's obvious that these guys aren't in this movie, and it's like they never take their helmets off, and it feels cheap, and that's Power Rangers is cheap, but like it feels like they cheaped out on, especially on people who are still there, who are not dead, like Amy Jo Johnson, who probably wouldn't have done it anyway. But it feels
she didn't. She refused. She said she didn't want to do it. Her and Tommy refused to do it.
Tommy's dead now, so
no, he was alive when they filmed it.
Yeah.
To do it.
We'll bring one of my other points. This is my next point. This story feels bare bones, and it feels like they wrote this, back in 2001 when Toy Train died, but they didn't have the money to do it then, and they finally get a green light after Jason David Frank dies. But they didn't make enough money to modify to actually include him in the tribute into the story of whatsoever. So it feels like they just had a script that they just made and they didn't do anything with it to actually include the more recent people who have died in the Power Rangers family here. I already said I don't care. I can't tell who this for.
Lisa rebut. I've used my rebuttals. Lisa rebut.
So my last thing here is that last fight scene. I'm much rather they just put a dude in a suit than that awful janky 3D animation that they had. It was, and I get it. They only had $20,000 to do this, so they did the best they could. But like,
counting their pockets now.
It's this whole thing, and you're talking about a 30-year anniversary special to pay tribute to people who have been lost before, and this is the product they give us. And it's like, y'all could have done better than this, y'all. Y'all could have like waited another 2 years, got some more funding, and gave us a better product than this year.
But then we 32-year anniversary. It's not around.
I don't give a fuck. Okay, 32 years. I didn't go to my 20-year high school reunion. I don't care. Y'all could have asked for more money.
I'll let you reclaim your time. I used all my rebuttals. I'll let you reclaim your time. I'm sorry.
It's just it doesn't feel good enough to be a tribute to people. I'm sorry. It's just, and I get it. It's Power Rangers. Power Rangers was never good to begin with, period. It was obviously when I was a third grader watching this
rebuttal. It was always amazing.
Thank you.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Clearly, we were watching two different shows. It was always amazing.
When you're talking about they're splicing together Japanese footage from another show, and sometimes they would even use the same footage. You would have in different shots them changing costumes.
I'm just not sure what. Like, I feel like you're almost comparing it to the reboot, like the reboot with higher production value.
I'm just saying
because it was never anything.
I know. That's what I'm saying. It was never anything, right? It was great for little kids. It was great for them. But even as a little kid, I could see that this thing was made jankily, right? I'm just saying they didn't upgrade. They didn't do nothing better. Like the frick shows now are awesome. But this one, they're just like,
upgrade episode 1 and it was trash. So I am thankful that we didn't get an episode 1-ish of this movie. I'm glad that it was just the Power Rangers movie. It was what it was. That's what ended my rebuttal. I'm sorry, reclaim your time.
I'm done. Go ahead.
Oh,
your
thank
cons
God.
The only con that my con is, there wasn't 4 hours of this movie. Blah 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 blah. That's what I'm saying. Y'all cons is.
Why you got to see? This is like the second personal shot he's thrown. Lisa, your cons, please.
Cons. Where are the bullies?
They ain't got no jobs.
Well, because I know that they had been on a lot of the later Power Rangers. Like they stayed on for a really long time.
Yeah.
So I would have liked to see them. And then it was too short. The end.
Rebuttal. I was right.
Oh, sorry, Jason. Would you like to make a formal rebuttal? I don't know what that was. What is your formal rebuttal?
Addendum. They did show a poster of the Vulcan skull because I guess they went to they were attacked by one of their businesses, I guess. But give me Vulcan skull at least. Come on, they're not doing anything right now.
So my cons. I'm mad that it was no Zordon. They should have figured out a way to put him in there. My other con is no Lord Zed. I wish they would have had some shot off of him in there. And my last con is, which is not really a con, it's kind of a pro, but it's still a con. They did the ignoring kid trope, but at least she got her ass kicked once, so it kind of evened out for me. That is all I have.
Rebuttal here.
Okay.
It's not really a rebuttal as an addendum to your Lord. This is more of me adding on to my cons.
Oh my God.
Because for me, the story didn't feel like it was a continuation of the story that they left off. I feel like Billy and Jason and Kim and Trina, they quit being Power Rangers, but we find out 30 years later they're still Power Rangers. Tommy, yeah, he's still a Power Ranger. He's been 18 different Power Rangers. But I don't know. It just didn't make sense in my.
Well, Jason's come back, Tommy's come back, Zach's come back, Billy's come back as a scientist in one of the space ones. I don't think Kim ever came back, which is fitting. Cats came back before.
But they came back as different Power Rangers.
Well, yeah, but they still were in the morphing grid system power thing.
Also,
it's not unheard of.
If you can still be a Power Ranger at 52. Why did Zordon pick kids?
So he can
because they had
them.
Attitudes.
He needs teenagers with attitude.
Yeah, come on, bro. They explain that, bro.
Literally, they say it.
They literally
said, "We need teenagers with attitude."
That's not explaining it.
Trina's kids came and said, "I got attitude. Make me a Power Ranger."
Really, Jason did not have attitude.
None of them had attitude. All of them were good, straight A, proper kids. None of them had attitude.
These guys are great.
Tommy had a bit of an attitude in the beginning.
Yeah, because he was evil at first.
Right.
Well, there you go. You said none of them had it, and I said Tommy did.
Well, they didn't pick Tommy first.
Yeah, right. He was picked by Rita. That is a good point.
Yeah,
and when he stopped having an attitude,
Zordon
is when he got picked by Zordon.
Zordon should have picked Tommy. Zordon should have been the first person they picked was Tommy because obviously he's
Tommy
the greatest
wasn't living in Angel Grove at the time we picked him, so that's why he didn't have
greatest Power Ranger of all time.
No, that's Jason.
Well, second best is Jason.
I don't even know what you're talking about. Clearly, you hate everyone in the Power Rangers.
I hate this movie. I love the Power Rangers. I just outgrew them, I guess. It's just.
That makes me sad.
Who was your favorite Power Ranger, Jason? Who was your favorite Power Ranger?
Not Zach, I'll tell you that.
That doesn't answer the question. You're gonna answer the question, and we don't know it, but it's Zach.
It's 50-50 between Tommy and Jason because I always wanted to be Jason because I'm Jason, obviously, and that's who I wanted to be when I'm playing it. But they're like, you got to be Zach, and I'm like, I don't got to be Zach. I'm Jason. It makes sense that I'd be Jason.
You know what other black kids, and they were like, you got to be Zach.
There were no other black kids where I was.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So it's like Stranger Things when no one wanted to be Winston.
Which is blasphemy, and I hate that show just for that whole. They should never put that in there.
He's one of the best characters. I couldn't believe that either.
And the fact that Lucas was mad about that lets me know his parents should get punched in the face as well as Lucas. Anyway,
when you are forced to be the only black character rather than choosing to be, it gets on your nerves. Especially if like, why can't I be Black Peter Venkman or Black Jason in the red costume? Oh,
I had to be, what's her name? The freaking Ghostbusters. What do you need? Because none of my friends will even let me be a Ghostbuster because I'm a girl.
Well, Lisa, you're not fun.
Oh, okay.
That's your problem.
Okay.
That was just a joke.
Yeah, I agree. In the 90s, you can make the argument of like not having to be the black person or the woman character.
Yeah.
But Stranger Things takes place in the 80s. You know how many? Oh, you know what icons we had in the 80s as black people? Keith David from They Live and Eddie Murphy. That is it. And Alexis Winston. Those were the three people we had. That was in mainstream stuff. So for the fact that he would say that, well, I mean, I'm saying as an action stars.
Yeah.
Like we had those three. So the fact that his parents let him walk out with a Venkman one, I would have ripped that tag off and would have wrote in a Sharpie Winston and sent his ass to school.
My mom would have left me leave the house with a Venkman tag on. They would have definitely been Winston. She's like, oh, no.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's how black parents were in the 80s, being like, nah. Get the black one.
Oh, you got 5 G.I. Joes, and where the black one at? Go get 5 black G.I. Joes. There's only 2. Mom, I want a 5.
Then we'll just buy more of the same character.
I got 2 roadblocks. That's what I get to play with. 2 roadblocks. Rhyming all the time. Look at you, roadblock. Look at me, roadblock.
Anyway, we went off on a tangent. Sorry about that, guys. So your favorite Ranger was not Zach. Good answer. Lisa, who's your favorite Ranger?
I always loved Trini, and then because I loved her Zord the most. It was always my favorite. Saber-tooth tiger.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then anyone who had the saber-tooth tiger, I love. I always loved the Yellow Ranger. Period.
So when it first started, my favorite was Billy because I was the smart one. Then I realized he never did anything. He never built anything. He didn't do shit. So my favorite became Jason because he whooped Tommy at the end, and I was like, yes.
And also, they even had to do for Billy a PSA that said, no, actually, Billy's actually a pretty good gymnast and stuff, and pretty good at stuff. And I'm like, yeah, because he's lame in the show. All he does is get beat up.
Right. Yeah. For some reason he had the right attitude, not the bad attitude. So.
Yeah. I'm the nerdy guy. I don't have hands.
Do you think that this one-off is enough to support a new series?
Sure, it's the Power Rangers. They do whatever they want. They got a bajillion spinoffs.
Yeah, do they need support for a new series? Just do one. I feel like, obviously, they should, for these people, do it again. But hopefully this does well enough they can do a redo.
Yeah. And this one is solely for Lisa. Lisa, who wins in a fight, the Green Ranger or Captain America? Thank you.
Green Ranger.
Even hesitate. It's easy. It's easy. Jaron and Jason, look, Captain America, he can throw a shield. I'm like, Tommy has a gun. He was
Captain America has a gun.
And Zord. You literally just it's not even a question. What is wrong with you guys?
I do love how this movie ended, where Zach just pulled out the guy, just done. Rita.
Yeah. He said, look at Rita. We tried to talk. We tried to swap it out, but you keep trying to do this domination. I'm gonna have to kill. And he held the gun sideways too when he shot it.
He's like, everybody look away. I gotta handle something.
Right? Yeah. started acting like he was Jules from Pulp Fiction. All right.
Zach Kirk walks back.
Kung Fu Keto, baby.
He's from California. He might have.
The best and worst of Power Rangers. Okay, well, we're going to do the rundown. The rundown is where we go over all of our pros and our cons for Power Rangers Forever and Ever and Ever and Ever. Lisa, what were your pros and cons, and what was your rating?
Okay, so pros are seeing all the Zords again, nods at the Rangers who aren't in the show, and nods at the Rangers who got to come into the show. I love the fight scenes. I love the dialogue. I love the ending with the tribute to the Fallen Rangers. And I loved how it just stayed authentic through and through to the original show. Cons are I missed the bullies, and I wish it would have been longer.
All right.
Final rating.
Final rating is 5 out of 5.
Yes. All right, my rundown for Power Rangers Forever in a Day. My pros are Zach showing, he still got that youth in him, black don't crack. This was straight 90s nostalgia all the way. The creative way they worked around the people who didn't want to be there, and the deaths of the previous Rangers. Tommy and Kat got married and had a kid named JJ, so maybe we get a next generation look there. And then the fight scenes are always dope. My cons are no Zordon, no Zed, and the annoying kid trope is just what it is, annoying. I'm not as high as Lisa, but I did give it a 3.5. I thought it was a solid outing. It gave me everything I wanted and didn't stay long enough for me to start getting really annoyed by it, like Jason did.
Yeah, it stayed way too long. All right. My pros and cons. Pro, this is only an hour long. Pro, this feels like an extra long episode of the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Cons, this feels like an extra long episode of the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. The acting is trash. It is unbearable. The notable lack of the still living Power Rangers just makes this feel hollow, empty, and cheap. The story being bare bones makes it feel rushed, and they just reuse something that they had from a long time ago. I can't tell who this is for. And finally, I much rather they have a dude in a suit rather than the terrible CGI at the end of this movie. 1 out of 5.
Wow.
I wanted to blow my brains out.
If I had an extra rebuttal during the time, I would have said the rebuttal for this is for us. Like I felt it was for
it's
me. And the least was like for the people who grew up on this. Yeah, like you were like, I don't know what this for. Like the people who grew up on it, like it was cheesy, it was over the top, and I remember at one point when I watched it, I'll go, ooh, the dialogue and acting, and Jess goes, my wife goes, "What you thought they took acting classes for the last 30 years?" I was like, correct, you are correct. Yeah.
Zach did. Zach had some talent,
What, hip hop keto?
No.
I love it. Hip hop keto. Honorable mention. Honorable mention. Hip hop keto.
His acting was actually better than everybody else's because he actually got jobs in the preceding years.
Okay. Rundown. Are we done?
Yeah.
I can't listen to bash this anymore.
I was giving Zach a compliment.
It with insults laced in there.
Yeah, everybody else looked like 50-year-old people.
Well,
squeezing into their leotards. Here we go.
All right.